Hi guys! Sorry, a little slight technical difficulty. So we're working on my cell phone. I'm hoping this is working. I'm going to give you a couple minutes for people to catch up, to log on. I see some people are starting to. While you're there, I'm going to try to figure out how to get my mat to see me. Oh man, it's always the way. So bear with me as I try to get my phone to work here. All right, I see a lot of faces. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Erin. All right, so I am just gonna let some people sign on. Oh my gosh, lots of you. Hi, guys. It is working. I was hoping my iPad was gonna work because it's a bigger screen and I can see. And it worked fine yesterday, but not today. So we're just gonna go with it. If you can't see me throughout, just let me know. Give me kind of a nod. And yeah, I don't know. We're gonna give it a shot. So I guess it's a learning curve for all of us. And thank you guys for coming on. So it looks like there's a pretty good amount. So we'll just kind of start. A little bit of housekeeping things as we wait for some more folks. So my name is Kim. I teach Pilates at Hampshire Hills. I'm one of the Pilates instructors there. And I also teach Body Flow and CX. For class day, you can grab a mat if you have one or just use like a beach towel, whatever really works. I recommend more of like a little bit more of a comfy surface. So if you're on a carpeted surface, it might feel a little bit better on the spine with rolling. If you do have like harder floors like I do, feel free to grab like a small towel and you can always use that, adding it under the knee or the hips and whatnot. So that might make it feel a little bit better. Hi, Sarah. All right, so we are not going to be using any props today, just our body weights, a mat, if you have it. If you want to add on like a bolster or a block or anything like that, if you have something at home, you can. I don't truly think that we'll need them, but feel free to add them. A couple other things. If you haven't done Pilates before, that's a-okay. A lot of the moves that we'll be doing are things that you've seen in real life, like a plank or a push-up or things like that. I tried to keep it as user-friendly as possible, so then you're getting a lot out of it, because all we really need is just to come together and get that release. So I'm hoping that you can follow along fine from home. With that being said, it is a virtual class, and obviously like I can't adjust you. So there are some moves that we will not be doing because I don't even want to go there. I don't want to worry about form and things like that. So it will look a little different from the traditional class that you see with me, which is fine. But with that being said, we have a lovely little disclaimer. It is virtual, so I cannot tweak you. I cannot move you. I cannot manipulate your movements. So please be very careful. Listen to your body. Make sure that what you're doing feels comfortable. Don't hurt yourself. No one wants to go to the hospital, the doctor's office now, so stay home. With that being said, I hope you guys have fun. I'm not going to use music because I don't know how loud I'll be. I don't know how well you'll hear me. So feel free to add in music in the background if you'd like. One last thing. Today we're going to focus on the slings. So like those cross-body connectors. So a lot of like extension through lines. Slings are really great, and Pilates is really great for like a supplemental workout. So if you're really big on running or CX, if you're really big in grit or any of those other things that you might do, like body weight activities, things like that, this is great for increasing your strength, your stability, helping with your alignment as you age, as you grow. And then additionally, it will help you become stronger with more force, faster, things like that. So it's a great additional exercise to add on to anything that you're already doing. So, all right, we are going to start standing today. Something I typically don't do, but being that we are, I'm hoping you can see me, being that we're in this method, I want to be able to connect with you more, and I want you to get used to my coaching style. So if we're laying down, you won't be able to see me or hear me, and I want you to be mindful of the neck at all pimes. So typically, if that Pilates stance, you want to zip up the midline, have the stacked spine, tuck the chin. And if you're in that stance laying on your back and then you're looking around like this, you're going to hurt yourself. So we're going to start standing and see how that goes. So everyone, if you would please, see if you can see me. Oh my gosh. I'll be in Texas by the time you do see me. I'm going to start kneeling. You're going to start standing. All right, so stacking your hips, find your feet. And I want you to just rock back and forth. And just find that midline. So pressing the four corners of the feet, the toes, the heels, everything down. If you want to start kneeling like me, that's fine too. Now let it travel up through. Stack through the hips and widen them. Now you're going to hear me a bunch throughout the class talk about widening. And I want you to widen. I want you to take up space. A lot of Pilates is micro movements, so tiny little movements, and that's what we want. We want little tiny lifts and little tiny engagement of those internal muscles to build the heat internally to then get the change to happen. So if you're doing like some big grandiose movement, you're not going to find that it's hard. And then, like I say in my classes, if it's too easy, then you're not working the right way. So dial it back. So start to just zip up the midline, widen through the hips. Now gently tuck the pelvis and see if you can brace that lower belly. Now keeping that engagement of the core throughout the entire class, let that travel up through the body. So tuck in the rib cage, lengthen through the spine, and then find the shoulders. Let them just widen and relax. Now we're not coming to yoga. We're not, in that mountain pose. Just let the arms just kind of fall. Shake out anything that you need to. And then just soften in. Now let that travel up through the spine. Tuck the chin just a bit here and find just length. So we've grown tall. Now, I think the biggest thing that we all need right now is just a big breath. So just take a big breath in and just let it all go. On your next breath, when you breathe in, I want you to focus on that out breath, holding here, and then out breathing through the mouth. So with Pilates, it's big, it's mouthy, it's loud. So take a big breath in through the nose, hold there, and then just let it all go through the mouth. Good. Now on the next one, when you breathe in, just focus on that lower belly, keeping it engaged. See if you can breathe sideways. So taking the breath to the side walls, reaching fall, holding here, and then letting it go. Good. Take one more big breath. Just find that softness through the body. And exhale, let it go. All right, adding in some arm works. We'll take the arms with a big arm circle, reaching to the sky, and then softening, let them fall down with the exhale. Now, as you circle through, let the shoulders stay down, resting down the back, tucking them in. We'll say tuck into the back pockets. So you want to take the shoulder blades, tuck them right down and low, and then exhale down. Take one more big breath in, sweeping through the arms, and then let them go. Now, most of you are in that standing position. So as you're circling, I want you to come into that intense pose. So if you've done yoga before, you're sitting down. So tucking the tailbone, bracing the belly still, and then sitting back almost to the heels. So you're coming backwards here. Now I'm coming sideways so you can see me. Feel free to still face so you don't tweak your neck. Now take the arms, let them reach up. So you're in this position with the arms, so they're in line. You can still peek at them with the eyes. And then exhale, just let them swing back. Take another big breath in, reach high, and exhale back. So as you're swinging, make sure you're paying attention to the ribs here. You don't want them to stick out. Keep them locked in. Good, another big breath in. When you come back with the arms, let them stay back and press behind. Pump behind, finding a nice long spine, keeping the tailbone tucked long. Roll the shoulder blades back. Now pull from the ears, the neck. So finding that length here. You're pulling up, extending long as you press through the arms. Good. Inhaling and exhale. Take one more big breath in and let it go. Good. So I'm just going to peek in, make sure no one's saying that they can't hear me. Awesome. Hi, Mom. All right, so coming to the backs of your mat, we're going to take a big breath in, finding that neutral spine. So everything's pulled up. Your feet are planted down, pressing through the cores, the soles of the feet. Now take a big breath and start to roll down through the neck. So bringing the chin to the chest, scooping through the spine. Now you can see me. Coming all the way to that forward fold position. Now walk yourself out, finding your way to a plank, and then press back to a down dog. Perfect. All right. Now you're in that down dog position. I want you to shift the weight forward, coming to a crouch. So the knees will come forward, almost like you're landing in a tabletop position, but avoid touching down if you can. Hold up. Now press back. Scoop the belly long and press behind. Good. So the shoulders are pressed down the back, the spine is long, belly's tucked in tight. Come again. Scooping forward, rolling to the toes. Bring the knees close to the floor. Hold here, and then press back. One more time. We'll scoop through, finding our way to that bear, that crouch. Hold here. If you need to, touch down at any point. If not, hold up for another big breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Touchdown. Perfect. Now I want to wake up the spine just a little bit more with a standing, not standing because you can't see me, We're gonna stay through with a seated twist. All right, so the spine is long. You can stay stacked on the knees here, or you can come up to that kneeling position. I'm gonna stay here so you can see me. We'll take the arms up, and I want you to rotate, opening up, and just peek. A little bit more waking up through the spine. Come back up tall, extend, and reach the other direction. So as you're coming through, focus on that breath, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Take 2 more here. And 1 more to the other side. Perfect. All right, so coming back to that tabletop position. So what I want you to focus on is shoulders. Before you begin, take the hands, press them down right underneath the shoulders here. So you have that four-point connection with the floor. Now pull the belly button into the spine. And I know that feels funny, but you want to almost press the back up a bit. So you'll see a change here as you come up, pulling the belly button in nice and tight, keeping that core engaged. Now traveling down along the spine, check in with the knees. See if you can stack them right underneath the hips. So you are like a table here. All right, so we're gonna begin by just taking the arm in the front, or whichever one feels a little bit better to you. And we'll circle it around like a snow angel. So reach to the front of the mat, shifting yourself around, all the way to the back, and then around. So as you're doing this, you wanna stay as level through the chest as possible, taking the arm circles at your pace, but please take your time. A lot of Pilates is about that slow and controlled movement, and so often we speed up. We speed up in our lives, we speed up in our engagements, and we often lose sight of how our body's moving. So find that slow circle as you reach around, keeping the belly button pulled in tight, and the length through the spine. Good, 1 more time, circle down, touching down, and then take that same hand, we'll find it long, push it behind. Now just like before in the warm-up, press to the sky. Keep the spine long, keep the chin tucked, keep peeking at the ground here. For 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Touch that hand down. Now press again through the spine, find a nice long line, 4 even corners, and then take the back arm. Start to just reach it away. When you're ready, finding that twist, reach, extend, and rotate back through again. So pressing evenly through the knees, feel that engagement. Everything's pulled in, it's pulled up, right? So as you're shifting, you're not losing that form, you're not coming off balance. So find those big rotations, continuing to pull the head away from the ears. Last circle, let the hand touch down, and then right back to that press, pulling it behind along the length of the spine, hand facing the sky, and pulse. Good, for 3 more, 2, and last one. Perfect. Now we're gonna add in the leg. So bring in that sling activation. So coming across the body from our shoulder to our hip. So the best way to do that is bringing in opposite leg and arm motions. God, I'm nervous, I don't know why. So anyways, when you're ready, take the knees down, the hands down. We're gonna start with the front hand and the back leg. So just start by just tipping them long here. Now hips are square. You'll see automatically as you come out that things start to shift. So bring them back. I want you to drop that back hip down so it's in level with the front, okay? Now drop the shoulders so they're squeezed down so everything is square. Now, staying here, or I want you to start lifting up, finding that tap. So the leg and the arm will lift to that shoulder height and then come back down. Now watch, slow and controlled movements here is important. If you come through and the spine starts to shift and you're arching through the back, it's too much. So take it back a notch. Take it slow, hold that spot, and then come down. Take 2 more. Last one. Now as you come up on the next one, I want you to hold here. Find the breath, find that strong, steady focus, the squareness of the foot, the knee, the hand. Good, the weight through the shoulders, the strength through the spine. And when you're ready on the next breath, we're gonna reach to the diagonal. So if you have space, come as far as you can and come back. Continuing to press evenly square through those hips. Good, opening and shutting like a windshield wiper. Back and forth. Take 2 more. And last one. This time, we'll bring the elbow into the knee, finding that curve through the spine, really trying to connect here, and then extend long. So on your extension long is where I want you to pay attention. As you bring everything in, you'll curl in tight, and then extend long, but keep the spine nice and long and stacked. If you find that you're arching, you're coming too far. So find that curl in and press long. Two more. And last one. Good. Take it long, touch it down. We'll switch sides. So if you need to, at any point, press back. Find that shell pose, that child's pose. If not, when you're ready, we'll continue on. So find that strong footing before you do anything. Press through the hands, press through the knees, brace that belly, pull it up tight, okay? Everything's zipped up and strong. Now take the back arm long, front leg. Square the hips. So drop that front hip, because we have that tendency to roll back, right? I want you to drop it down so you see one long line. Perfect. Now find the squareness of the shoulders, tuck the chin, nice long spine, belly's in tight, and we'll start to lift and lower. Good. Now you'll find as you lift and lower that you may find that you kind of come off balance a bit. You may shift, you may rotate. Stay in the middle. So take that arm that's long and squeeze the armpit in tight. See if that helps bring the chest back a little bit more center. Just making sure you guys can all hear me. Perfect. All right, so keep lifting and lowering. On the next one here, I want you to hold. Take a big breath in. Good, keep squeezing the armpit. So see that shift. If you see yourself starting to peek to the back of the room, take the arm, press to the front. Show your body who's boss here. So come a little bit more squared. Hold there. Find that breath. Good. Now reach to that corner and back. As you're reaching, as you're extending, keep pressing that front hip down. Keep squeezing through the bum so this leg stays nice and high. Good. Find the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Two more. Last one. Bring it in. Find that curl. Press through the hand that's down and extend long. Good. Come in and reach long. Ooh, don't lose your balance if you do. Stay with it. Keep pressing that foot that's down, that shin. Good. Two more here. And last one. Perfect. Touching down here, we'll all come back to that shell pose. Dropping through the neck, maybe giving it a little wag, taking the hands if you want, pressing them down and just wagging the tail, seeing if you can release through the spine just a little bit. Kind of get some things moving. All right, so we're gonna come back to that plank, that hover position. This entire sequence that we're doing can be done on the feet, the toes, or it can be done on knees. So I'll show you both options. Listen to your body, take as many reps as you want, take a break when you need, grab water when you need to as well. All right, so we're in this tabletop position to start. Pressing the hands down. What we'll do is tuck the toes and come back to that crouched position. So lifting through the knees here, holding up, finding that like inch, 2 inches lift from the ground. Now take the toes, walk them back, finding their way to the plank. Perfect. Now walk them back again to that crouch, seeing if you can hold yourself up without touching down. Brace the belly, really press through the spine, and then walk along again, pressing through the heels. Come back in again, holding in that lifted position, nice long spine, press through the arms, feeling that press through the spine, and then long. Heels are back. Now option to stay on the toes or come down to the knees, untuck the toes. With this plank position, what I care about is the hands that they're stacked right underneath the shoulders. The belly is strong, spine is long, so really pull the shoulders away from the ears. Now knees or toes, tuck the tailbone, tuck that bum down. Good. Now if you want, you can press through the back a little bit, finding a stronger footing. You can tell I'm holding you here for a bit. That's my plan. Good. So when you're ready, we're going to start with that leg pull, starting with the front leg. Take that, lift it up and down. Two more. Last one. Now drag to the diagonal, in and out. Keeping the hips square, finding your strength. Remember, this can be done all on the knees. The next move, we'll take the knee in for firefly, coming to the front elbow, back elbow, and extend back. Same thing from the knee. Bring it in, scoop through that spine. The closer that you can get the knee and the elbow connected, the more engagement of that core. Take 2 more. Last one. All right, take that foot. I want you to tap up to the knee, so the foot will tap to the back of the opposite knee. Let your leg that's bent, the knee be to the front of the room. Gosh, it's hard to coach when you're on a computer screen. So take that foot, tap it in, and extend. Now, if you're on the knee, same thing. Tap in and extend. Take 2 more. And then I want you all to tuck down to your knee, leaving that ankle, that toe right to the opposite knee. We're gonna come through with a press up. So, foot is to the knee, opposite knee in the front is out, okay? Tailbone is tucked. We're gonna press for 3. 1, good. 2, keep that front knee lifted if you can, and 3. Perfect. Touch the knee down, sit back to shell. Take your hands, walk them to the back of the room, and really press the hip away. Find your breath. Just slow it down. All right, when you're ready, come on forward again. So same thing on the other side. Toes or knees, we'll tuck the toes and come back to that plank position. Now press through the hands, press the back tall, tuck the spine. Tailbone's in. Now the back leg will lift up and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now reach to the diagonal. Careful of any chairs that are in the way. Keep reaching and pulling. Feel that strain, that strength that's hiding there. 2 more. Last one. Now bring that firefly. Knee will come in, reach across, press back. Remember, you have choices here. Find what works for you to get you through the practice today. We've had a lot going on our bodies and our minds. So it's important to listen to yours and not push it too far when you're not ready. 1 more. All right, back to that fancy foot. So we'll bring it up, tap into the knee, extend long. Stay with it. 2 more. Last one. Tuck the knee, everyone. Come down, untuck the toes. Foot will be in right by the knee. Now back knee lifts to the side. You ready for 3 push-ups? 1, 2, last one. Perfect. Untouch the toes, sit back, find that child's pose, that shell stretch, and then take your hands to the front of the room and sit back, pressing through the back hip. Good, slow down the breath. Awesome job. I'm tired. It's a lot easier with music so you don't even hear me dying up here, but I think it feels good when we're all together. So we're in that plank position. What we want to do is roll ourselves down to our belly, and I'm hoping you guys can see me okay today. I can't because there's a lot of comments, so I'm hoping that this works. I know my feet are in, so I'm hoping my face is too. So we're gonna find our way to our belly. Let's come through with a little bit of stretching before we continue on. So what I want you to do, before you do anything, is get used to just listening to me yell at you for a moment so you understand your positioning and not really what I'm doing, because I want you guys to focus on your spine. So bring your head to the mat. Bring your forehead right down, tuck the chin, and find that length through the spine. So you're having a nice long spine, and I'll kind of demo it, but I'm going to pop up so you can hear me too. But with the tuck to the chin, you'll find that length. Now let that travel down. We're going to take our hands and just rest them for a moment right underneath our shoulders, a little bit in front, okay? So there's room for the arms, the biceps, the triceps, all that good stuff. Now, let the shoulders fall away from the ears and almost round through the chest just a little bit. We have done a lot of probably rolling forward lately, a lot of, this position. So a lot of my focus today is on getting you to open up so we can kind of release the weight of the world that's on our backs. So we're here, I want to bring you here. So taking the hands right underneath the shoulders, we're gonna come through with a great stretch. So keep the chin tucked, forehead down, nice long spine, shoulders are wide. That's as far as we've traveled so far. Now focusing on that spine, travel down and see if you can lengthen up. So maybe kind of just shift through the body, see if you can pick it up, grow a little bit taller, and then just touch down. We're gonna grow like a ballerina today. So traveling down through the spine, widen up the rib cage, soften up through the back, and when you get to the hips, the buttocks, the belly, that's where we're gonna focus right now. So I want you to gently tuck the pelvis under, okay? So kind of like if you have a tail, tuck it under. Now take your hands away just for a moment, one hand, both hands. Reach them underneath the lower belly and see if you can find a lift. You're hoping for like a car deck width right underneath the belly. And that's showing you that your core is engaged and you have the right support to the lower back. So that's what we want. Hands can go back now. All right, so with that tuck to the tailbone, I want you to start to squeeze the bum. Squeeze the legs together, kind of like you're growing a tail here, like a mermaid. And then keep everything grounded down. For the beginning, we'll take the hands down and we're gonna just find a little bit of a stretch here. So press through the four corners of the hands and lift up in that cobra position. If it doesn't quite feel right, take the elbows, walk them under and just hold here. Now feel the length of the spine. Take the shoulders, roll them down the back, peek right to the front of the mat. So it's a nice long gaze. And then let yourself go again, rolling back down and seeing how the spine feels just a little bit longer. Take a big breath in, let it go. On the next inhale, take the arms again, press up, feel that opening through the chest, lifting up, squeezing through the back body, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the opening in the chest, the strength through the back, that squeeze through the bum, and then let it go. Take one more here, roll up and hold. Feel that stretch, that strength. It almost feels like you can breathe a little bit better right now. And let it go. Now take the arms, reach them long in front. And this is the part where you may not be able to see me. But basically I'm looking like an H, I guess. So arms are long, they're about shoulder width apart. Palms will face down. Legs now will start to open up just a tiny bit. So we still want that tuck to the pelvis. We still want the brace through the core. The squeeze through the bum to protect the lower back. But we want a little bit of space to play with here. So taking the front arm and the back leg, I want you to lift them up, squeezing, holding, and then lower back down again. Now switching sides, keeping the chin tucked, nice long spine, forehead down or lifted just a tiny bit. We'll take the back arm and the front leg, squeezing through the back body, lifting up and lowering down. So as you're finding that lift, as you alternate at your pace, I want you to focus on growing. So we're not just lifting up, but we're lifting and extending. So growing right from the hip, the shoulder, reaching really long through the leg and the arm, and then touching down. So each time when we lift up, we're growing even taller. And then when we touch down, we're reaching further along the floor. Good, continuing with a slow walk. And down. Last one on this side like this. Good. Now on the next one, we're gonna reach up, same as before, but drag to the corner. So reach up, now reach to the side, finding almost like an X. Come back into the midline and touch down. Switching sides, extend up, press to that corner. Good, back in and down. So it might be hard to see me. If you wanna peek at the screen, I can show you. So you're lifting up and then you're dragging long, coming back in and down. So this is with that slow and controlled movement. You want to come far, but you don't want to come so far that you're arching through the spine, that you're losing your form, okay? So lift up, slowly, come over, come back in, and come back down. I see you, Kim Burke. Take one more for each side. I don't know if I caught you in a wrong spot. To the other side, one more time. And we're gonna come a little quicker. Same as before with that slow reach, but we're gonna add a little speed to it and swim. So taking front arm, back leg, lift up, and then switch. So you're finding that flutter kick as you swim along here. Because literally what else can we do but swim right now? So press the hips down, Squeeze the back body, lifting the shoulders, the chest, feeling that strength there. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, fun little move. I want you to roll over without using your arms. So just find your belly, brace it, find that roll, and come to your back. And then move back to your mat. It's really just because that's fun. All right, so we're gonna come down to a laying position. And again, a lot of Pilates is done on the mat. We don't do a lot of bouncing. We don't do a lot of up and downs. Typically, I do most of the practice on our backs or on our bellies, maybe the hands and the knees. So we're coming to that bigger sequence now. So I'm gonna do a lot of talking to you, and that's okay. Pay attention to the spine. Pay attention to your breath. Find the reps when they feel right to you, and always take them smaller. So we'll do some crossbody crawls and things like that I know you've seen before, but I want you to tone it back just a bit. I want you to make them more small. I want you to make them more controlled and with more movement, with more mindful movement, okay? All right, so coming to our backs. We're coming through with a pose that's very common in Pilates called the roll up. So legs can be long or they can be bent into the mat, doesn't matter. If this is new to you, I recommend almost having that bend because you can use the legs to help you walk up. So typically with the roll up, we take the arms overhead, 2 long lines, and they're reaching behind. Now they're not resting on the floor, they're engaged. So they're about maybe like 2 inches off the mat, off the floor here. Chin is tucked and our gaze is right to the sky. So spine is really long, belly is dropped in, okay, pulled into the spine, the rib cage is down, and then we're finding that width through the lower belly, that engagement. So a little slight tuck to the tailbone, wherever you land. So bracing the core. Now, if you're new here, what we're gonna do is take a big breath in, start to take the arms overhead, and as we watch them travel, we get to that point where they're almost reaching the diagonal, and you'll see it will start to pull you up, and that's what we want. So the chin will tuck, and then the head starts to roll off, then the neck and the shoulders. Now continue to roll with that, or take the hands and let them help you walk yourself up. Good. You can stop in that seated position, or if legs are long, feel free to come forward and find that stretch. Pull the belly in nice and tight, find the length of the spine, and just roll over the legs here. Finding that stretch, feeling just the openness. Now we'll come back to that seated long spine, drop the shoulders away from the ears, stacking the spine, start to scoop through, finding that C shape. So belly pulls in, spine starts to lengthen and roll. Now we'll start to come back the other way, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Now this time, when the arms come overhead, we'll let them just land down like before. Staying with this roll up or adding in some snow angel arms, the arms can travel across the floor, and then they're already a little bit closer to the legs to help you walk yourself up. So chin will tuck, and we'll start to roll all the way up. Finding that nice long spine, scooping through, pressing through, resting onto the knees. Good, stacking again. Finding that length, pull the shoulders away and start to roll back. The arms will be the last to touch down, the head, neck, and shoulders first. Then the arms float overhead, finding those snow angels if they'd like, and then continue to roll up and back. Now, if you've done my classes before, feel free to just stay with this, that works for you. We'll take 2 more though. Slow and controlled, starting to roll down, scooping the belly, finding that length. Arms come overhead. Dragging them down, scooping along the belly, rolling back up again, coming forward. 1 more time here, stack through that spine, pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears, scoop the belly, roll their way down. And then this time as the arms float overhead, we're gonna bring them down next to the ears. We'll take the feet, pick them up, and walk them about a couple inches behind the bum here, and we'll press the feet into the mat with the knees to the sky. Legs can be hip width apart, and then just kind of let everything land for a minute here. Tuck the chin, let the shoulders rest down, and just feel the width. Feel the landing, the grounding. Now take the fingertips to the temples. Avoid pulling them behind the neck so you can avoid pulling on the neck and hurting the neck. Tuck the chin just like before, grow through the spine, and we're gonna crunch up for 2 counts. Feet stay where they are, knees stay where they are as well. No shifting through the lower belly, everything's strong. We'll just be lifting up and almost finding that hinge right through the belly button as you lower back down again. Now keeping the shoulders nice and wide, let the elbows scoot to the outside of the room, tuck that chin and roll back down. So finding that 2 counts, you lift up, squeezing tiny micro movements, and slowly lower back down again. Try not to lead with the head. Let that chin stay nice and tucked. Coming back down. Taking one more here, keeping the ribcage nice and locked down and low. Lifting up and lowering down. Now, similar to before, just what we were doing, but we're adding a little bit of a cross. So again, the knees, the hips, the ankles, all those things are going to stay still. So as you travel, I want you to peek and make sure that they don't rotate. Fingertips stay to the temples, and I'm going to take my back elbow, shoulder, and reach it to my front knee. Now you'll see there's not going to be much lift here, and that's okay. I don't want there to be. It's a tiny micro lift as you reach and peek towards the front, almost like you're peeking past the knee, and then come back down. We'll switch sides here. So lift off, keeping that front shoulder pressing to the floor, and finding that rotation almost from the midline, right around that belly button, a little bit higher towards the breastbone as it lifts up and crosses. Good. Keep the shoulders nice and wide. Coming again. Stay with these tiny little micro lifts. Two more. One more to each side, please. And last one. Now we'll take the knees up, finding that 90-degree position. We often like to come here. It's a little bit more comfortable for our backs. And the reason being that it unloads the belly. So we want to take it back a notch and take the knees right over the hips here. The shins can be as parallel to the floor as they want. Doesn't truly matter. What matters is where those knees land. So you can feel as you push them away a little bit more that the belly starts to turn on. Now we're going to come through with a combo for the 100. I like to bring the 100 to every class because it is that well-known Pilates pose that we do. It has really great benefits through the whole body. But we're adding in the sling, so a lot of that reaching motion. So I want to do it a little different today. So taking the arms to the sky, shoulder width apart. We're going to begin by letting the arms just float overhead. Now again, stopping them before they hit the ground. We're going to take the palms and face them towards the sky. Okay, so arms are long. Palms are to the sky, chin is tucked, spine is long, belly's engaged, back is pressing down, the knees are right over the hips. All right, if it's too much stuff, we're gonna take the arms, let them float overhead, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, and extend the legs to that 45 degrees. So the palms will press down, then again, float back, stop the knees when they land right at that hip height. Hands, palms can circle in if they'd like, or stay facing to the sky. We'll again reach, extend, take the toes, press them away, roll the shoulder blades down the back, good, and extend, come back in. Now when you come back in, pay attention to those knees. If you bring them in too much, yes, it feels great, but I don't want you to. I want you to stop them at that knee level, that knee height, right above the hips, okay? So keep going with your reps, continue to press away. If this is too much on the back, I want you to come a little different here. I want you to take the toes and reach them just to the sky here. So extending still, feeling the length through the hamstrings, still pressing the back down, still taking the arms, reaching them away, but then finding that rest too as well. So still pressing up, still finding that length, still squeezing the inner thighs together, and then releasing. Wherever you land, if you're at that 45 degrees or to the sky, we'll take 3 more. Good, 2 more. And last one, extending, pressing away, squeezing, feeling that strength, holding here for 1 more really, really big breath, squeezing the legs in, finding the toes, press them away, the ankles are squeezed together, the heels are squeezed together, the belly button's pulled down the back, the spine is nice and long, the chin is tucked, and then let it go. Squeeze everything in, find a nice big ball, and just give yourself a little rock back and forth if you'd like. Now let go through the neck, find that softness, that release. We're going to start with extending, having a little stretch, and then we'll add on. So take the front leg, hold that in, and let the back leg come long. The head can continue to rest down. We're just finding a stretch to start. So this is similar to a single leg extension. You'll see this often in class. Feel free to touch the back leg down if you'd like, and just pull that front knee in. See if you can get into the hip if you'd like, and just find a little bit of softness. Slow that breath down. Now switch sides, take the back leg in, let the front one drop down. Feel that softness, that openness, that strength. Relax the shoulders away. Relax the head. Good. Now we'll come again to the front leg. This time I want you to take your front hand, reaching it towards the ankle. Back hand will pull in at the knee. Head still stays down, but adding a little bit more will let that back leg elevate. Always touch down if you need to. Now switching again. This time the back arm reaches for the ankle of that back leg. Front arm to the front knee. Pulling in. Good, that front leg stays elevated. Staying here or taking it up a notch and lifting up the head, neck, and shoulders. So bracing the belly, squeeze it in nice and tight, rolling the shoulder blades down the back, and switching. Good, holding here. We'll come a little quicker. Feeling that pulse as you pull in for 2 counts and extending. Now feel the length of the legs as they press away. Staying here or adding in the fingers to the temples, increasing that load just a bit more. Now as you press away with the leg and it's nice and long, the opposite knee comes in. And it's not staying right over the knee, it's not staying over the hip, it's pulling in. We'll add in that cross crawl if you'd like, reaching the front or back shoulder right to the knee. Now, we often know this is that like bicycle crunch and we often come really quick. I want you to take it down a notch, slow it down, make the movements a little bit slower. The next time you get to the front and you're peeking at me with that back leg long, I want you to hold here. Find a little tiny pulse and try to bring to the shoulder for 3 more, 2, last one. Hold up here, drop that leg down for 5, 4, good, 3, 2, 1. Switch it up. Find that cross crawl. Next time you're to the back, hold there. Find the pulse, reach up for 5, 4, 3, 2, keep the shoulders nice and wide. Hold here, drop that leg. Find the length through the leg, pressing through the toes. 2 more. Last one. Bring it in, find that stretch. Let the neck go, rest long on the mat, legs squeeze in. Bringing in a double leg extension, we'll start curling up the upper back, so scooping through the spine, holding the hands here, and extending long. Scoop through the belly and roll back together again. Good. Extend, reach away. Press long, come back in. Find 3 more, pressing through the lower back. Coming back in. 2 more. Last one, extend long, curl back in. All right, we are gonna take the feet to the sky, finding a little bit of a stretch here with longer legs. So keeping the front leg nice and long, let the back leg reach long, feel that pull in. Head, neck, and shoulders can rest on the mat and feel that stretch through the entire hamstring. Back leg can stay elevated or touch down to the mat. Hips are nice and square. Now switching it up, finding that nice long length here. Pulling it in, finding that breath. Switching again. And 1 more. Good, bringing both feet to the sky and arms to the sky as well. See if you can track the feet right over the hips so the legs continue to be nice and long. We're gonna slow down the breath and just bring in some more cross body work here. So taking the back arm, front leg, we're going to extend them both long, reaching away. Now bring them back in. This may seem really easy for you, but what I want you to focus on as you switch is making sure that the leg and arm that's pointing to the sky stays as still as possible. So if you find that the leg starts to shift or maybe starts to peek itself away, then you're coming too far with the arm or leg that's reaching. And I want you to come back just a bit. Good, reaching, pulling away. Now, if this is too much, take it back. Don't take it so close to the floor, or maybe bring in a bit of a bend here, reaching and touching down, and then back to the sky. Good, extending long, and back in. Now, similar to before, we're gonna take the same opposite arm and leg, but we'll reach to the front and back of the room. Now, I want you to pay attention to not come so far, because if you do, you may roll over. So just take it as far as works for you, and keep that opposite arm and leg that's not moving as stationary as possible. Good. Peek right at the sky. Make sure that nothing is shifting. Tuck that chin so the spine stays nice and long. Good. Slow and controlled. Feel that lower belly as it turns on. We're building the heat through the inside out today. Take 2 more. So 1 on each side. Last one here. Good. Now same side. We'll take front arm, front leg, reach them away. Good, so adding just a little bit more thought to it. Take the back side, reach it up, extending long. Back to the front. And the back. You've got it. One more like this, and then we'll come to the outsides. Keeping the chin nice and tucked. Finding that length through the spine. Good, reaching to the front of the room. You'll find you cannot come as far this time without losing that connection of the back hip. If the back or front hip, the leg that's not moving, starts to lift off the shoulder, anything like that, then you're coming just a bit too far. So take it back a notch as you roll and open up. Good. Feel that lower belly hopefully is really turned on right now. Spine is long, chin is tucked. Good, stay with this. One more here. Don't roll over. Good. Take those legs, keep them where they are. Fingertips will come to the temples. Brace the belly. We're going to come up with a little bit of a crunch here, but we'll add on with a circle. So the chest will lift up and rotate around and then touch back down again. Doesn't matter if you switch directions throughout. If you want to, feel free. Just stay with that lift, rotate around, and come back down again. Now the legs will stay pressing to the sky with nice long toes. We'll brace the belly, lift up, rotate around, and come down. If you want to be fancy and switch directions, that is fine with me. What I want though is to make sure those shoulder blades are rolled down the back. They're pulling away from the ears. The spine stays nice and long. Now we're going to take one more, rotate it around, and touch down. Perfect. Arms will come nice and wide like a T. Feet will stay at the sky. We're going to point the toes, reach them away in a nice V, flex the feet and pull them in together. Come again, point away, flex and pull in. Now as you pull in, focus on those inner thighs. See if you can drag them together, squeezing, feeling that strength there. One more like this, pointing, opening up, legs come together. Now point both toes. We're going to take them, reach them towards the front of the room in that 45-degree angle if you can, continuing to press the front shoulder down, front hip down. Take that back arm if you feel comfortable. Reach up, try to touch to the toes. Extend long and come back to the other direction. So pressing down, trying not to lose the connection of the hip, the shoulder. Reach up, roll through the spine as you lift off and come down. So taking it slow, finding what works for you so you can hold your form, keeping the spine long, the chin tucked, bracing the belly, reach up and lower down. Coming again, coming to the front of the room one more time. Lift up and to the back. Perfect. Now one more pose right here on our backs before we come to the bridge and end for today. I love to add in the I love to add the rollover in class. But the rollover is a little bit of a harder move to do when I can't see you. And I want to avoid you coming onto your necks. So because of that, we're not going to go there. If you know the 100 and you're comfortable going there, you've done a class before, if it's mine, Paula's, or whoever else's that you've gone to, feel free to go there now. That's fine. If not, we're going to prep you for eventually getting to that place. And then hopefully when this all ends and we can come back and practice again together, we'll come there together. So what I want is the spine to be nice and long. The chin is tucked. Everything is long, zipped up through the midline. Belly is braced. Now, the legs are to the sky, and what we're looking for is like a reverse crunch. I know many of you have done that before. So we'll take the arms long next to the body, and I want you to either find a bend through the knees or long legs, doesn't matter. But I want you to start engaging the core and finding that micro lift so you can just pick the tailbone up just a tiny bit and come back down again. So you're not looking for a large lift. You're not looking for the full roll over unless you know how to go there. So I want that tiny little micro lift and work not from the arms, not from anything else, but that lower belly. Brace it, lift up, take those legs right to the sky, and then lower them down again. Good. So stay with that, lifting up, reaching, and lowering down. Take two more. And last one. All right, we're gonna take feet to the mat. We don't have a lot of time because we did join a little bit later, so we're gonna still take it. Take them down to a bridge pose to end today. We'll press the feet so they're about hands width apart from the butt. and knees are wide. Arms are going to be long for just a minute, so shoulders can relax away from the ears. Spine is long with the chin tucked. Now, with this bridge, I want you to focus on two things. So when we come there, we're going to look for a long line from the chin, the chest, all the way through the knees. If you're yogi, typically you come up, right? You squeeze through the back body and you're looking for that roundness. We don't want that. We want to stay engaged in Pilates form. So we're looking for length, almost like a table or a board is put on our belly all the way through, okay? So coming on back down, if you haven't already, we're going to join together. This time, arms can press the floor, or for a challenge option, take the arms overhead and let them rest long. We'll take the scoop of the spine, start to roll up, finding your bridge pose, pressing evenly for the four corners of the feet, right onto the shoulders. Avoid that neck area, okay? So staying on the shoulder blades. If you find that it's too much on the neck, take the arms long. That will shift you back just a bit here. So brace through the belly. Feel that squeeze in one long line. Good. Now we're going to pulse up and down. Start to come down just a bit, almost like you're touching the bum, and then lift up again, squeezing the back body. So coming down for 4 more. 3, 2 more. Keep pressing the knees away evenly so they're not in or out, not bowing one way or the other. On the next one, hold up. Find the strong footing between the shoulders, between the feet. So when we start to march, you won't be shifting. Take that front leg. We'll lift it up into that 90-degree bend and extend away with the heel. Come back in. Try to focus on staying level through the hips so you're not wagging back and forth, staying off the neck, feeling that length, that strength. 1 more. When you get away, point the toe and reach to the diagonal, coming back and forth. Be very mindful of the hips, the squareness of the shoulders, the softness off the neck. 2 more. Last one. Bring that leg back in, touch down. Stay square, lift up the back leg. We'll press away for 5. Find that heel, press away. 4 more. Good. 3, 2, last one. When the leg stays out, find that point and reach to that corner. Good. Stay here, pressing through the feet. Feel your strength. Last one. Let the leg come in, touch down. I want you to roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring the knees in. Find a nice big stretch here. Slow down the breath. Find the length through the spine. If you want, you can close the eyes. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe rock yourself back and forth, kind of releasing lactic acid that might have built up along the spine. And then finding yourself at rest. Let the knees drop to the front of the room in that supine twist. Arms can come nice and long. Head can stay facing the sky, or lift up and reach and look to the opposite direction. Good. Lifting up the legs, bringing the gaze back to the sky. Let the knees drop to the back of the room. If you need to walk the spine in line with the hips, feel free to do that. And then if you want, add the head, picking up and reaching to the front of the room. Bringing the feet back to the sky, we'll wiggle them out, getting rid of any buildup that might have added there, and then let them touch down. Now, one more thing I want to do with you really quickly. If you have a pillow or anything that you can grab, I want you to throw it right underneath your back for a minute. And we're going to open up our chest one more time. So legs can come nice and long. Take yourself back and just kind of let the head rest onto the floor, onto the pillow, and bring that pillow to that upper back area. Now let the arms find their way to the sides of the room, and just feel the opening through the chest. And I want you to just breathe. Don't hold on to the neck, just let it go. Don't hold on to the weight of the head. Don't hold on to anything that doesn't serve you right in this moment. A lot of what's going on is out of our control. We're able to stay home. We're able to still practice with our gym friends. We're able to still take care of ourselves physically. But mentally is so important too. So release anything that doesn't serve you right now. The weight of everything that we're carrying. And just kind of let go of it. Taking another really big breath in, and let everything go through the mouth one more time. Good. Now slowly just start to tuck the chin and get yourself up to that seated position, or stay on your backs as long as you would like. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know it was a little bit different with the change of technology. I can't even see right now. I should be back next Saturday, same time, 11 o'clock for Pilates. It will be a similar format, but we will make sure that we do things a little bit differently. We'll add in some different body parts. Maybe we'll focus on the hips of the butt or something like that. If there's a certain body part that you'd like to focus on, just let me know. Or any poses, movements, anything that you want, let me know and we'll go there too. We've got a couple weeks to play with this. So if not, I hope that you guys have a great day. And then tomorrow, Beth will be here at 10 o'clock for a really great stretching class. A little bit more gentle to kind of end the weekend in a great note. So I hope you guys come back and see you soon.